This is Jesús, Manuel, Mena, Garza. I hope you're having a really good day. In this short video, I'm going to try to examine art and its value to you and to me and to museums and artists. Let me give you a little bit of background on myself. In high school, I took a lot of art classes and a lot of photography classes. In college, I took a lot of photography and a lot of art classes. I went to the San Francisco Institute of Art on scholarship. So I've been pursuing a career as a photographer primarily since the 60s, and I enjoy producing photographs for exhibition, for clients, and for my own personal use. I've been lucky enough to have my work exhibited in, Europe, Latin America, United States, from coast to coast. I consider myself a successful professional photographer. I'm retired now, and I just have fun with my photographs, but I still continue to exhibit and talk about photography. When it relates to art, painting and stuff like that, I do painting for my own personal enjoyment. I have paintings of mine right above me here in the living room, in the dining room, in my media room, in my bedroom, in my studio. I have paintings everywhere, and also some photographs. But my paintings are my own personal joy, producing something that I find expressive of my own feelings. And they're all abstract paintings. They're nothing representational. Okay, I just play with paint and just move it around and have a great time. My wife likes them. A lot of other people say, "Wow, those are nice paintings." So I think they have some value. So what value do paintings actually have? Some of us have learned about the masters of painting, be they from Asia, Europe, Africa, or the Americas. Certain people have gained a recognition and a value. But who places that value on their work? Typically, it's museums, curators, and art historians. They say to you, this is important, it is valuable, and you say, okay. If you say that's a valuable painting, I will agree with you. I've gone to museums where they essentially have this white canvas, 24 by 36 inches, a white canvas just painted with white paint, and it's on the wall. They bought that. They spent their money on a painting that is white, and the painting is called white. That painting may have a value of $1 million. Who's to say that painting is worth $1 million? If the museum bought it for $100,000, they're going to say it's worth $1 million now. It's an investment to them. They want to say that this painting has a certain value, and they want to maintain that value. They have what's called a vested interest in that painting. The curator who found that painting and said and bought it for the museum has a vested interest in the value of that painting. So that painting has value according to them. And they'll write about it. They'll have an art historian or the curator write about that painting and say, this painting is amazing. It's groundbreaking. It's brilliant. And the artist is the best thing since sliced bread. That's their job. Okay? You understand? That's their job. To sell that painting, that white canvas painting. Okay? So, curators and art historians, my wife, by the way, is an art historian, and she's written, countless articles on paintings and, gallery, literature for, museums, and the list goes on. And I go to countless museums and galleries throughout the United States and Latin America. My wife, that's her job. So let's say, for example, some art historian, not necessarily my wife, just any art historian, was given a job. This photographer shot a donut, put it on a white plate, put it on a white table, and the photograph is now 5 feet by 8 feet, and it's on the wall of our museum, and we need somebody to write about it. So an art historian, a curator, will write about that donut. Okay? He'll talk about the variety of donuts there are in the universe and why there's a hole in the donut, and the gradation of tones and the color, the use of color in space, and positive and negative space, and the history of that type of art of food going back to medieval times and the Stone Age. People used to paint deer running in the forest. So they'll write about it. An art historian or a curator can write about a piece of art, any art that you may not even find valuable. Okay? They could write about it, write a page, write 2 pages, write 30 pages on that piece of art. Again, that donut or that white piece, that painting on the wall of the museum. So, because they write about it, it gains value, it gains traction. People start, oh, you're that museum with that donut on the wall. Amazing, I have to go see that donut. The context of the donut is amazing, especially in a museum space. There I see it. It's a donut. It's amazing. So, I go to museums on a regular basis. My wife says, let's go to a museum. I say, okay, let's go. So, would you find that, this is the question I have to ask, okay. Do you find that photograph of that donut of a value of $100,000, $1 million, or find no value in it? Would you put that painting or that photograph of a donut in your house? Maybe not. In my house, I wouldn't put that donut up because that'd make me hungry. First of all, I want some donuts. But it doesn't do me any good to put that up on my wall. I do not want a painting of a donut or that white painting on my wall. I do not find it valuable. If it was worth $100,000 or $1 million and I knew it had that value, I'd have to pay for it to be stored and leave it there. And then I'd probably sell it within a few years and say, hey, is it worth any more? It's worth now $2 million. Well, wow, let's sell it. Let's sell that white painting for $2 million. Here's all the art historians and curators that have written about it. It says the greatest painting of nothingness ever. And it's amazing. So, in summation, I'm going to be very, I want to try to make this short because I could talk ad nauseum, just like an art historian could talk ad nauseum about art. I can talk ad nauseum about art. But don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. That's very important to me. Don't forget that. Of course, this is a very esoteric channel. I talk about all kinds of stuff because I have plenty of time on my hands. So, in summation, there are people who have a vested interest in promoting a piece of art. Understand that. Totally understand that. Okay? Some people will say European art is better than Asian art or African art or indigenous art of the Americas. Okay? They will say, wow, these European artists are the pinnacle, the tippy top of the arts world. It's their perspective. An Asian artist, it doesn't have as much value to them, or a Brazilian artist doesn't have that much value to them. Artist from Nairobi doesn't have as much value to them. Okay, but this European artist, wow, they are totally amazing. They are the pinnacle, the top. They are the best. So there's a certain devaluation of other artists in comparison to European artists. So understand that. When people talk about European art, they'll go back in time and say these are the fantastic artists of all time. And this artist is A++ and a plus. Yeah. There's other artists around the world doing great work. You got to go to Japan, go to China, go to Thailand, go to Lesotho, go to Zimbabwe, go to Pakistan even. Go all around the world. There's artists all over the place that are doing great work on the reservations in the United States. There's some tremendous artists. Okay, so understand when somebody talks to you about art, they have a vested interest, be it because of their background or because they actually have invested bought that art. So if I buy a piece of art and I spent $1 million on it, I better make sure to get some people to write about it, get some people to talk about it, create some buzz, and tell everybody, hey, I got $1 million painting. Maybe in about 10 years or so, it'll be worth $2 million. A great investment. And there are people who just buy paintings on the hope that they gain value. They'll put it in a closet. They have a special room where they throw all the paintings. They don't even put it on their walls. You just have it in a closet. Sculptures, paintings, tapestries, weavings, and stuff like that. So this has been Jesús Manuel Mena Garza talking about art, the value of art. What do you think of that art when you go to a museum? Understand the context. What is the value of that art? Sometimes a gallery will buy an art because it's by a certain artist or photographer. It may not even be their best work. This artist produced 5 good pieces. Maybe to some people. Some people say 5 good pieces. But the other 100 are pieces of junk. Not very good. Poor in comparison. We all, have some good stuff and some bad stuff. But that gallery will buy, or museum will buy the bad stuff because they can say, I got this artist. Look at that. It's by that artist. It's a couple scribblings on a piece of paper, but I have that artist. So when you go to a museum, think about the context of that piece of art and who's talking about that art. People have a vested interest. There is a reason why that gallery produces that literature and has that tour and talks about that art ad nauseum. This has been Jesús Manuel Mena Garza. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. This channel is very esoteric. One day I'll be talking about recreational vehicles. I love camping outdoors. I love the outdoors. I had a discussion with my wife and I said, hey, where would you like to be right now? What would you like to be doing right now that'd make you tremendously happy? And I said, I'd like to be outdoors, camping on a beautiful, warm day, just camping out in nature. I enjoy nature. In this video, I talk about paintings. In another video, I'll talk about photography. I even talk about motorcycles. I love to go, riding the motorcycle. So this has been Jesús Manuel Mena Garza. Thanks for checking out my esoteric video. And I hope it helps you out understanding, about paintings and stuff. Again, my wife is an art historian. She's the head of the art department at the local university. And I've been painting since the 60s and taking photographs since the 60s. And I enjoy doing it, photography and painting for my own personal use now because I'm retired. Again, this has been Jesús Manuel Mena Garza. Gracias. Adios. Bye-bye.